Are you wondering if a 3D world building and virtual tabletop system is a good idea for you? Are you already experienced with a 3D system and aiming to maximize the potential? With this video, I want to encourage you to dive into 3D world building. At least for me, 3D world building has allowed for me to create diverse settings and adventures that otherwise had been impractical or impossible in standard two-dimensional views. This video shares a little about how I have learned to work with 3D systems primarily for Dungeons & Dragons, but also for other games. I will show examples in the 3D world builder and virtual tabletop system of RPG stories. This video is not a sponsored video, rather I would like to guide you through some of the potential that you could explore more on your own. RPG Stories includes a complete 3D world builder for creators and game masters, integrated with a 3D virtual tabletop system for hosting multiple players, rolling various sets of dice, and using a full set of tools for game masters and for players. At first, I was concerned about how much time I would need to invest in learning another new technical system and another set of skills. Almost instantly, though, my concerns vanished because this particular system was easy for me to learn. Currently, you can find plenty of tutorials online, and you can access the user manual directly within the program. Typically, I start with a simple sketch and a few notes, and then I can open the RPG Stories world builder to experiment with the extensive library of photorealistic 3D models. Maybe I already have imagined something and I can search with a keyword, or filter my search through categories of fantasy, sci-fi, and modern genres. Every once in a while, I enjoy browsing through the asset library of thousands of options, organized in categories of the ground terrain type, structures such as buildings and other constructions, and individual objects. Inevitably, I will see something that will remind me about an old project or encourage me to create a new project. In my approach, I prefer to start with the overall world-building environment and then next develop the location-specific details. In some cases, I might create a little bit about a specific location that I already had imagined for the purpose of knowing the size and the placement within the larger surrounding environment, and then next I will complete the detailed design later. I like to create multiple tabs of different environments and views. In this way, I can avoid overloading the system with too much information and demanding too much computer processing power. If I can design the overall large-scale environment first, then I can plan better about how to organize the individual site-specific components. The same principle is true when working in a conventional two-dimensional map, and the planning stage involves all of the same procedures. At least for me, this initial planning stage has made me more efficient with my time as a creator. Sometimes the largest scale of an environment will exceed the limits of computer processing power in a photorealistic 3D system. In these cases, I import a two-dimensional map that can show the largest scale of an entire geographic region. For each important area, I can create a few general environmental views, and I can create the specific details of the relevant adventuring encounters. You could use a similar approach to import any of your pre-existing maps of dungeons, castles, or other environments. You can use these maps in two-dimensional view, or you could create a new three-dimensional version of the same map. In this way, you still can use all of your pre-existing maps, and you can work with other pre-existing adventure modules. The 3D environment allows for you to maximize the elements of the elevation in the natural terrain, in the architecture and ruins, and in the components of rock formations, plant growth, and furniture. You can make your 3D environment as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. During the creation process, I like to insert characters and creatures to test how they will appear in a space and how they could move through a space. At any point, you can add journal notes about the overall environment, and you can add pinpointed quest notes in specific spots. Some people prefer to work with the visual content and clues, and then the written text notes could be minimal. In my workflow, I prefer to prepare the text components in a separate file, and then I might import the most essential parts into the 3D World Builder. Some people prefer to work with physically printed pages or adventure books. You could explore various options depending on what will work for you. Among the thousands of pre-existing 3D asset models, I can find just about everything that I ever will need, especially when exploring the options for resizing, rotating, and combining objects. Furthermore, I can find numerous customized objects and entire environments and projects in the online Steam workshop, where community creators share their work with each other. Numerous characters and creatures are available. If I will want something different, then I can import a custom figure from Hero Forge. Among the features that I like about the RPG Stories system are the ongoing expansions and improvements. The asset libraries and the control tools already are superb, and they continue to grow. In any case, I can concentrate on my creative ideas of fantasy world building in any environment that I can imagine. I do not need to customize with plugin extensions or extra coding. I always will find the 3D models and the technical tools for the world building that I want to create. Furthermore, diverse creative works can interface with the 3D environment, such as a new Kickstarter for your next Halloween adventure in Dungeons & Dragons with the Derelict House of Abaddon, featuring maps, tokens, 3D printing files, and more. You can find the web link in the video description. If you have been holding back on your experience with 3D world building, then I want to encourage you to dive into it and enjoy a new way of expressing and expanding your creativity. If you liked this video, then please share with your friends and give me a comment about your thoughts and suggestions. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.